One of my favorite features of the house is this little staircase bookshelf. Right now it's empty, but every time I walk by it, I can already picture exactly what it's going to become. There's the skylight right above it that fills the whole space with the most beautiful natural light. And I knew from the moment I saw it, it was going to be my favorite little corners of this home. It's actually the first thing you see when you walk in through the front door. But unpacking these books has been a lot more emotional for me than I expected, and I wanted to share why. So growing up, I moved around a lot, on average, probably about once a year. And I think when you grow up that way, part of you quietly starts to believe that nothing is really permanent. You stop fully settling in because you know at some point you're probably going to be leaving again anyway. And I carried that with me for a long time, probably longer than I expected, definitely into my adulthood. Some of these boxes have literally been sealed for 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years. They followed me from the East Coast to California to Arizona, through apartments, through temporary home storage units, through our townhome that we always knew it would eventually become an investment property, and now it is. Through all of that, I never let myself fully unpack and settle in. Not really. So even when life was good, even when things were really stable, there was always this little voice in the back of my mind that whispered, "This is temporary, don't get too comfortable." But this house feels so different. I know that it may not be for our forever home, but this is the home that will bring home our next baby to. This is the home where my children will make memories. This will be their childhood home, where we'll host the holidays, hopefully lots of parties, and where we're going to grow our roots. And there's a time in my life where I genuinely could not picture this. I could not picture living somewhere longer than a year. I could not picture building something that actually felt like it was mine. Never imagined I'd be building a dream home with my family. And I wake up every single day and I thank God. And I go to bed every single night and I thank God, because all of this still feels unbelievable to me. But life really does come full circle. And if you're going through a hard time, I want you to know sometimes it comes around even more beautiful than you could have ever planned for. So for the first time in a really long time, I don't want boxes sitting untouched in the garage anymore. I want our home to feel lived in, intentional, peaceful, happy. I talk a lot about consuming less and living more minimally, and I do believe that, but books have always been like this exception for me. Always. I love what they represent: curiosity, education, imagination, comfort, growth. The way a good book can completely change how you see the world. I've been reading to my son since he was literally 1 week old. I have pictures of this. One of my favorite pictures of us in the whole world is me holding him in a rocking chair, reading him a storybook when he was so tiny. And now, watching him love books already, it makes me emotional in a way that I genuinely cannot put into words. I want my children to grow up surrounded by stories, surrounded by learning, surrounded by art, conversation, creativity. I want this little space to eventually reflect both mine and my husband's lives, our travels, our experiences, our love of education and memories, all layered together here slowly over time. So it's going to be very much a work in progress. I need to add flowers and artwork, but unpacking these books feels like the beginning of something really meaningful. Like I'm finally giving myself permission to settle somewhere, to belong somewhere. Like finally believing that I get to stay and I deserve to stay. And if you want to follow along as this little library nook comes together, the plants, the art, the rest of the books, all of it, please come along with us. And